Thank you. It is good to be here this evening, and it is telling to hear those stories, both those from times past and from times of the present, to see that, we have made progress as a nation, and Mississippi has made progress as a state, but we are still imperfect. There is still much work that needs to be done. I've known our next honoree for about 20 years. I was trying to figure this out, and it seemed to me that was extraordinarily long, but I think that is the case, Robert. We worked together first in the Department of Justice during the Clinton administration, when Robert was the Assistant Attorney General for the Office of Legislative Affairs. I saw him operate in that difficult position with skill, with grace, and with good humor, forcefully and really effectively advocating for the administration without unnecessarily antagonizing the Republican opposition, something that I didn't do too well. I should have learned more from him. There were some sound words of advice I remember that you gave me during that time that I didn't perhaps apply in the Obama administration. You should have been there with me, should have been with me then. As much as I liked and admired Robert, Janet Reno loved him, and we were all jealous about that, It was kind of, we had these positions and titles and everything, and then Robert would walk in the room and her face would light up, and it was justified. She saw in him the skills that he had, the dedication that he had, the commitment that he had. His government service at the Justice Department, and before that, a long and storied career up on the Hill in Congress, was principled and was in the best interests of the people and for justice. He formed the Raben Group in 2002, a now highly successful public policy firm that represents clients seeking to open the doors of power for a positive, lasting, inclusive change. And he's shown that in the economic sphere, there is not a tension between doing well and doing good. Robert works to drive public policy in a humane direction to bring diversity and enlightened thinking to the boardrooms, think tanks, and corporations in this nation. He's now a private citizen, but he's a public-private citizen. He's worked tirelessly to construct a fair judiciary and to influence legislation to broaden and make permanent civil rights protections. Robert was an ally and a key advisor as the Obama administration set out really broad reforms of our criminal justice system. He was a sounding board, a person you could go to and ask, well, where do you think the problem exists? What about this potential solution? And he always has a way of letting you know, in a nice way, well, that's about the dumbest thing I've heard, Eric. But he makes you think that you somehow reached the conclusion that that wasn't a good idea on your own. He has been a champion for the nation's children by working to improve our educational system as well. In what little spare time he has, he founded the March on Washington Film Festival that has grown exponentially in recent years. People are going to be forgetting about all these other ones, the Robert Redford thing, they're going to be forgetting about it. This is going to be the place to be. It's now a major cultural event in the country and exposes the people in our nation to truths that were too little known, too long forgotten, or too long suppressed. He is a man of business, a man of the arts, and more importantly, a man of the truth. He is a force for economic and racial justice. He has made our nation better. I simply cannot think of a more worthy recipient of the Mississippi Center for Justice Honor than my dear friend and my former and still colleague, Robert Raben. I'm proud to stand with him tonight as he receives this prestigious and well-deserved award. Robert.